The real barrier for me in cooking Ethiopian at home was the injera. The injera is that spongy bread that is so good and makes everything taste good as you get to use it as your utensil. Now, the reason why it's so tough is that, real injera can take up to 3 days to make because it's the process ferments and it takes for a while for the bubbles to happen, and it just takes a long time. Now, we're going to make some easy injera because that's kind of what we're doing, making easy Ethiopian here, and this will only take a matter of minutes to happen. So what we're going to do, we're going to take 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of teff. Now, teff flour is an Ethiopian flour. It's made from a native grass there. It's high in iron and fiber. It's a very, very good flour. If you can't find that, you might want to use buckwheat. Will work very well. And then you're going to take 2 tablespoons of baking soda. This is some of the secret science we're using on this. So I am pouring this into this pan. It's an enamel coated pan. It's non-reactive. So, do it in a glass bowl, a big glass bowl, or a plastic bucket. Take your mixture here, and then once you got that done, you pour in 4 cups of club soda, maybe 4.5 cups or so. You also see the bubbles already appearing. You see how we're fooling science here. And we're going to whisk this in very nicely. And this part of the science is going to get even more exciting. Once you have the flour mixed up, make sure you got that mixed up. I can feel a little more down there. And then we're going to add a cup of vinegar, and this is when the real magic happens. Yeah. And that's bubbling. This is going to be the spongy goodness that happens when you make your bread. Look at how that works. To cook the injera, I'm using my electric crepe pan. You probably use a regular frying pan. It's like a 9-inch pan, but it really seems to be the right size and really the right substance for me to make this happen. Now, I've taken my batter and I've put it in a 4-cup measuring cup with a pretty tight spout right here. I think that's kind of important. And to make this happen, you want to pour from the outside in and make sure you're covering the whole thing. Now, be aware, you're probably going to donate the first one to the injera gods because just like pancakes, it doesn't always come out the first time. So once you pour this on, I'm going to take a cover it to my wok right here, and I'm going to let this sit cook for about a minute. So after about a minute, I'm going to take this off, and that looks just about right. See a little bit of rawness there. So I'm going to just poke this up here, and I picked this up. I don't know what to call that except for an Ethiopian spatula, but this is actually made to take the injera off, and we put it right on my plate right here. Pretty easy. So we're going to make a bunch of this, and we're going to go stack it up. So this thing is really clever. It's just a little woven thing. You put it underneath. Seems to work better than a spatula. Who would know? Let's make another one real quick while we're here. Again, work from the outside. Work in. Fill up as much as you can. Cover it up. You're on a medium heat depending on what your burner does, but this is pretty good. I'm going to use this to actually cover these up while they're steaming. And again, remember, these aren't going to taste exactly like the injera you may know at your favorite restaurant, but what it's going to do is going to give you the same feel and texture and a little bit of the flavor. But again, I kind of think of the bread as just a vessel to deliver all the wonderful stews we'll be making. Oh, that one looks really good. I'm just going to just feel the side just a little bit with this. Grab my little spatula here. Push it underneath, and just work it off. Just like that. Perfect. Let's make another quick one, as long as everything seems to be working right. Give it just a quick spray of Pam. Pour it on. Let it bubble up just a smidgen. And cover it up and let it go for just a minute. Fight the urge of looking early because you don't want to let the heat out of here. So wait at least a minute to let it go. And they're getting better and better as we go on. So these are pretty easy to make. I'm going to make a few more of these, and you can make a few more of them too. Here on Cook. I like the basket.